So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And some space here. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs. It gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And they'll get him down right about the 20. Jonathan Anderson making the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
On the ground, this is Williams. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Here's Murray. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And now the first carry for Jonathan Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
On 2nd down, Williams loses the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
On the ground, McCaffrey. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears have taken the early lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the shotgun, Griffin. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll hand it off now, Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these fans make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Griffin throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. That's taken on the 25. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're one to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
They're going to try and throw. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. And the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On second down, Griffin. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here's Griffin. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Murray now. And going deep for Hill. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 99 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Throwing now, Griffin on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. From the gun, it's Griffin. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes, some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now it's Griffin firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Tressway now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 93 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational, that's very. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Whitney Merciless in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now Griffin, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
On third down, Griffin. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard. Cameron Jordan coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be fourth down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Off play action. Murray. He's going to side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And it'll bring up third down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Tyreek Hill, 42 yards. And the Bears will extend their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Williams. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And this will be taken at the 13. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back to their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Hey, let's go!
Off the play fake. Murray. And going deep for Hill. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 60 yards. And the Bears add on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation.
And he'll go down And the Bears get there for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now Griffin on second down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Whitney Merciless in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Operating from the gun, Griffin. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go!
This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Off play action. Murray. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyreek Hill, 40 yards. And the Bears continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he loses the football a second time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
2nd and 10 now. Griffin. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football.
And he takes it in for the score on the game. Affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.